Welcome back, Algebra 2 students. We've been working with absolute value equations. Today we're going to look at how to formulate absolute value equations. And somehow I lost my tab. There it is. Formulate an absolute value equation means to take a problem and write an equation that fits that problem. Okay, it's a problem-solving skill. We're going to work with absolute value. Let's look at this one. It says you drive 8 miles from home to a gym. After your workout, you drive to a farm that is m miles from your home on the same road as your home and the gym. After buying some fruits and vegetables, you drive back to the gym where you've left your cell phone. So far, you've driven 15 miles. Formulate an absolute value equation. So let's think about, what does this look like? I'm a visual learner. I need a picture. So here's a road, and here's home, and here's the gym. How far is it from home to the gym? 8 miles. And then you drive to the farm. M miles from your home on the same road as the home and the gym. What do we not know? We don't know if that farm is here or here. It tells us the farm is on the same road as your home and the gym, and it's M miles from your home to the farm, but we don't know whether the farm is between home and the gym or it's on the other side of the gym. Okay, that's where our absolute value is going to come in, because there's two. You know how all our absolute value equations have had two, we split it and we had a positive and a negative? That's what this is. So we don't know if the m is over here or over here. So we're going to make an absolute value equation. All right, so let's think about how far we drove. 8 miles from home to the gym. Plus, now how do we describe this distance from the gym to the farm? That's the difference between this 8 miles that we know is the distance from home to the gym and the farm. So we can write that as 8 minus m, right? The difference between the 8 miles and the farm. And then, so we drove from home to the gym, that's 8 miles. Then we drove from the gym to the farm, which is represented by this absolute value. What does it say next? After buying some fruits and vegetables, you drive back to the gym. That's the same distance again, right? This was gym to the farm. Same distance back from farm to the gym. It says so far you have driven a total of 15 miles. Formulate an absolute value equation to represent this equation. You notice the 8 minus m occurs twice. So we could kind of clean this up a little bit and make it 8 plus 2 times 8 minus m. Why did we put the 2 there? Because we drove this distance twice. Okay. It doesn't tell us to solve this, but we're going to anyway. How do we solve it? We need to isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to start by subtracting the 8. That subtracts out, so now I have 2 times 8 minus m equals 7. Divide by 2. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Since it's a not repeating decimal, I can change it to decimal. If it's repeating decimal, leave it as a fraction. Split it. 8 minus m equals 3.5. And 8 minus m equals negative 3.5. I'm running out of room. I'm going to come over here and do 8 minus m equals 3.5. Subtract the 8. Negative 3, or 3.5 minus 8. Hey Siri, what is 3.5 minus 8?
3.5 minus 8 is negative 4.5.
So now I have negative m equals negative 4.5. Divide both sides by negative 1. So one distance for that farm, one distance from home to the farm might be 4.5. That's this side. Now we got to do this side. 8 minus m equals negative 3.5. Subtract the 8. Hey Siri. What is negative 3.5 minus 8?
Negative 3.5 minus 8 is negative 11.5.
Negative m equals negative 11.5. Divide both sides by negative 1 to get rid of the negative, and you have m equals 11.5. Do you understand that if the farm is closer to your home, then that's 4.5, right? So the farm might be 4.5 or 4.5 miles from your house. If the farm's over here, then it's 11.5 miles from your house. Okay? That's formulating an absolute value equation. You've got a difference between some distance that you don't know. Put that inside your absolute value bars. So from home to the gym is 8 miles. The farm might be 4.5 miles or 11.5 miles. All right, clear as mud. Let's do another one. You hike 1.2 miles west from a trailhead and then receive a text from a friend. She is X miles west of the trailhead. You hike to meet her and then you both hike back to where you left off on the trail. You hiked 2.7 miles in total. Formulate an absolute value equation to represent the situation. Okay, do you know what trailhead means? Trailhead is the beginning of the trail. So if the trailhead is here and you hike west, how far? 1.2 miles. This is the trailhead at the beginning. You receive your text from a friend. She is X miles west of the trailhead. Now she might be here. She might not have got to you yet. Or she might be over here, right? She might have passed you, you just didn't know it. Or maybe she left before you. We don't know if she's between you and the trailhead or if she's between you and the rest of the trail. Okay, so you hike 1.2 miles west from a trailhead. You receive a text from your friend. She is X miles west of the trailhead. You hike to meet her, and then you both hike back to where you left off the trail. You hike 2.7 miles in total. Formulate an absolute value equation to represent the situation. So how far did you hike first? 1.2 miles. Then you hike to meet your friend. That's going to be the difference of this 1.2 minus x, the difference between your 1.2 and your x, whether your x is on this side or this side. Then you hike back to where, so you've hiked 1.2, then you hike to meet your friend, and then you go back to where you were. So that's this distance again. See if I can trace it out for you. You hike 1.2 miles. Boom. Your friend says, hey, I'm X miles west of the trail, come meet me. You either go here, which is this is this 1.2 minus x, right? Or even if she's the other way, this is still a difference between 1.2 and x, right? And then you go back. So you hike that distance again. So you've gone here, then you go here and back, or you go here and back. And that total distance that you've hiked so far has been 2.7. Now, since this 1.2 minus x is twice, we can do it this way. 2 times 1.2 minus x. And then we could solve it to find out like how far your friend was, right? What are we going to do? Subtract 2.7 minus 1.2. Let me write this down and we'll get it on a bigger screen so it's not so bunched up. 1.2 plus 2 times 1.2 minus x equals 2.7. All right, let's do this. I hate for it to be so messy. Okay, here is the equation that we wrote. 1.2 plus to the friend and back. Some people will do that at x minus 1.2. It really doesn't matter either way there. I would do it the same way every time though, so you don't get confused. Now to solve this equation, I want to isolate the absolute value, so I'm going to subtract 1.2. These subtract out. This is 1.5. Now, divide by 2 to get rid of these. That divides out. This is now absolute value 1.2 minus x equals 1.5 divided by 2.75. Split it. Solve it. Now, on this side, it's not going to show up very good. Subtract the 1.2. I don't have a calculator handy. Hey Siri, what is 0.75 minus 1.2?
0.75 minus 1.2 is negative 0.45.
Now, if negative x is negative 0.45, if we divide to get rid of that negative, okay? So one spot the friend could be on the trail is 0.45 miles. Let's solve the other side. Subtract the 1.2. Hey Siri, what is negative 0.75 minus 1.2?
Negative 0.75 minus 1.2 is negative 1.95.
Again, divide out this negative, and you get 1.95. So she's either, your friend is either 0.45 miles from the trailhead or 1.95 miles from the trailhead, depending on if she hadn't got to you yet or she's passed you. The main thing you want to think about in formulating these is that difference between that is here. Okay? Very good. See you next time.